the streets. No shame in my kingdom. I was born to defeat.
I'm in the Lambo, I'm in demand. Pull up, shoot me shot like Rambo. Got my shirt off, and my chains on. Pull off, do 100, yeah, I'm too gone. Swerve on, doing numbers on. Yeah, I'm reckless, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, I run the town and everybody know it. I'm so flashy, so everybody focus. Everybody looking, cause I'm the one that notice. I'm the boss, yeah, I play the couch for it. It don't matter what it costs to pay for it. And if you ask me what it costs, you can't afford it.
On the throne in the jungle, on the throne in the streets. No shame in my kingdom. I was born to defeat.
Hello everybody, and here we are again. About time too, it's been so long. Here we are, one of the most cherished series in our leagues returns for its annual renewal. That's right, we're here for the crew chief BMW versus MERC Championship DTM cars from 1992. Looking absolutely wonderful there today. Look at that, they just look fantastic. As you can see, coming from Road America today. It's a 1 hour race. We call it an endurance because in these cars, trust me, it is a lot of hard work to keep these going for an hour. And let's just get the calendar up for you so you can see where we're going this year. Hello in the chat, Greg, good to see you back, mate. It's been a while, so nice to see you back. Martine, good luck today. And Tom, good to see you there as always, mate. Enjoy the stream. Apologies for the... oh, here we go. Let's get this up. Get that off. We'll get there in a minute. There we go. There's the calendar. So we're at Road America today. 2 weeks' time at Brands Hatch. That will be 2 sprint races of 30 minutes apiece. Back to an endurance for Mid-Ohio. That will be hard work. And then up to the Hungaro ring for 2 30-minute sprint races, over to Spa then in Belgium for another, I mean these are great track choices, for the 60-minute endurance there, and then back to Zandvoort to carry on and finish the championship, 2 30-minute sprint races there. So 100 points on offer for each event. On the endurance races like today, that will be a straight 100 points. For the sprint races, the races will be split into 2. The points will be split into 2, so 50 points per race for the winner. If you manage to win all 2, then obviously you get the 100 points that you'd get in the endurance. So the endurance races really are the ones you need to win. There's always points to be picked up at the other sprint races, but the 3 endurances today at Road America, Mid-Ohio and Spa, those are the 3 you really want to do well at. Right, let's get rid of that. There we go. You can see out on track Radek Pavlicek and it's Max Haas. Let's just go through the teams for you for this year's championship. Unfortunately, a couple of big names missing from the championship this year. Most notably, Ralph Arella, winner of last year's Crew Chief Championship. He's not here this season. Also notable absentees, Jack Camaletto and Tom Kohonen as well. Those 3 big, huge names really not in the championship. So that does hand the battle over to last year's second place man, Nemanja Manovic, who unfortunately is going to miss the first race due to a wedding he's attending. So again, the points championship really is open for all the drivers this season. Let's just go through the teams for you. So let's do it in order. as we should do. Max Haas out in the Tic Tac car, the crew chief car, and you might say, why is that the crew chief car? Well, I'll tell you that's why. It's because the crew chief himself, Jim Britton, there he is. He's driving with us for this season, as always. We're so honoured to have Jim with us. Massive talent, almost as big an ego. He'll want to do fantastically well in this series. It is his series after all. But as I said, we are delighted to have Jim racing with us. Really is the jewel in the crown for our leagues. If you don't know what crew chief is, then shame on you. Crew chief is the must-have sim racing app. So wherever you go in sim racing, whether it be Race Room, which we're in today, Assetto Corsa Competizione, even Project Cars, things like that, all use crew chief, and they'll give you vocal information while you're driving, like you've got your own pit wall. It really is a must-have. You can't do without it when you're racing. So if you haven't got crew chief and you are a sim racer, pop over to thecrewchief.org. There's a forum there with a download link. Installation is really easy. You can run it through you can either run the HUD through it, or you can just have it as a standalone. But honestly, if you haven't got it, you need it. I think everybody in the series today will have it. In fact, everyone in our leagues has it, I think, as virtually a standard. So it really is a must-have app, and we are so honoured to have Jim racing with us. So he's in team crew chief with Max Haas. I say two very, very good drivers, so they'll be fighting out the championship, along with Team Virtual Insanity, great team name. That'll be Cy Fillingham and Greg Metcalf. Greg's been away for a few months, so good to see him back with our leagues and racing his fantastic series. Let's find him. There's Greg, another in the 190E. The two cars that are racing is the BMW M3 and the 190E from Mercedes. Classic racing from 1992. And this is going to be really good to watch. Anyway, so back to the teams. Virtual Insanity, Greg Metcalf and Cy Fillingham. Another team that's going to be fighting it out closely will be Hell's Bells. That is the team of Clive Britton and Martin Kennans, the two staff members at our leagues. In practice, Clive was one of the quickest drivers, and in fact he did put the quickest time in practice, so watch out for Clive. Martin also a very quick little boy, so imagine those two will be fighting it out for the championship. Also we've got the team Top Gun. There is a play on words behind that. You'll need to join our Discord server to find out. That is the team of, where are we? Can't find him in the thing. Where is he? He's in the server, so it's all right there. Anyway, sorry, it's Radek Pavlicek and Ben Reynolds. I saw Ben in the server. There's Ben. Let me just turn the settings on. Radek, just about to come out of the pit series. Oh, panicking for a second. In the Sonax 190E. That's those guys. Who else have we got? We've got the Beer Brothers of Dusan Magyar and Gerasimos Cassel. Those two, again, quick boys. A bit more of a struggle in these cars, they're finding out, I think. No traction control, no ABS like the GT3s those guys are used to racing. So this will be a hard old championship for them. But those boys can pick things up quickly, and they are quick as well. So watch out for those. Who else haven't we got? We've done Team Beam. That's Callum Morgan and Nicholas Wicklander. Again, Callum is out and about in different championships, so more of a guest racer in this, bit of a Romain Grosjean. He'll only do certain races, but Nicholas should be here for the period. And of course, intense racing. David Dorr. Oh, we didn't know that. No, we haven't. Nemania's not going to be here today, but he is part of intense racing. David Dorr and Nemania. David is racing tonight, Nemanja not, unless he gets back for the wedding in time. So imagine that team will be pushing for the championship despite missing this round for Nemanja. I'm sure he can pick up those points again. And privateers, we've got Carlos Guerra. Let's see if we can find Carlos. There's Guerra in a classic liveried Vorsteiner BMW. He'll have the yellow strip on his windshield, so you'll be able to pick that one out fairly easily. Another fast boy. He doesn't have a teammate this year, which I'm really surprised about. His usual teammate Jack Camletto, as I say, missing this season. Again, may make guest appearances, so keep an eye out for Jack. He is driving the Taipan liveried BMW. Nice to see a bit of colour on the thing. And speaking of colour, Nigel Wood is with us. He's in the pits, we can't see his car, so he's there. He's in the letter M3. Where's Marcel? This is the livery, let's see. Marcel, there we go. In the very colourful Nitron Computers M3. You'll spot this one a mile off, so watch out for Marcel. Again, another quick. Oh, I say that, and we've started the commentator's curse already. It's all right. It's qualifying, Marcel. You'll be fine. And who haven't we spoken about? Oh, and Pietro. Where are we? Angle there. Oh, looks like that's a disconnect for Pietro. So we'll come back to him when he's back and running. So yes, there we go. Drivers and teams for the championship. As I say, we're at Road America today, a 1 hour race, endurance race. So these cars have 60 litre tanks. The BMW is a little bit more thirsty than the Mercedes, surprisingly, and will require, both require refuelling. The BMW a little bit more so that narrows down their pit window as when they can refuel. 2 compounds of tyres, soft and hard. The soft tyres are fantastic but wear out fairly quickly. Hard tyres are just not worth thinking about. The car's very hard to drive on and there was a lot of time, and as they're coming in for fuel, my guess is the hard tyre won't be an option for this or any race in the series really. The soft tyre will do 60 minutes, a bit like an egg will do 15 minutes in boiling water, but it will be absolutely garbage at the end of it. Same with the tyres. At the end of 60 minutes there will be literally no car, well there will be a carcass, but that's all there will be on the tyre. There will be no compound left actually to drive on unless they're being very, very careful with their driving. So watch out for the guys that seem to be slightly off the pace during the race. So looking at Clive, Max, David, Si, Andre, Nigel, those guys are near the back as they're racing. That's probably because those guys are really looking after their tyres, and they'll come into the race much later on, so they'll have a quicker pit stop because obviously they won't be changing tyres, and they will be picking up time that way. But obviously as they get to the end of the race, those tyres will be going off, and the guys that have picked up new tyres at their pit stop with about a 30-second penalty for those tyre changes, that's if they change all 4, which my guess is they will. These tyres wear pretty evenly front to rear, if not left to right. So if they do change tyres, it's a 30-second penalty for that in the pit stops. But those guys will have much fresher tyres at the end, so we're coming on strong. So we'll keep an eye on that and just see who rolls out with new tyres out the pits and who does the lightning pit stops. Well, lightning-ish because obviously they're taking fuel. Lightning pit stops, but we'll be struggling towards the end of the race on those tyres. So interesting racing today. The 1 hour races, as I say, the endurance races will be hard work for these guys. A lot of tactics will go into these. Not so much the sprint race in 2 weeks time from Brands Hatch. That will be put your fuel in, put your tyres on and just hit the loud pedal. So watch out for those, they'll be a lot of fun. This one a little bit more strategic, so we'll have some fun with these. We've been on Gerasimov a fair while. Let's go and have a look at current pole sitter or provisional pole sitter, Radek Pavlicek. Pavlicek in that Sonax, oh, just goes a bit wide there. I think that's going to delete his time. Yeah, I think that's a shame because he was very quick through sector 1. But my guess is that's lost him his time. I don't see this. Yeah, he's gone that one. So who have we got next on track? So Clive's on his warm-up lap by the looks of it. Who else have we got? Max again not on a sector time, so let's try another one. Here we go, David Dorr, he's on a lap, so sector 1 just under 40 seconds, 39.4. Fastest sector 1 time so far is Pavlicek with a 39.1. Looks like David's lost this one as well because there's no sector times come up on there, so that's not going to work. Let's go back to Pavlicek. He's just started a new lap. Drops it wide there out of turn 3. Timer's still going, so it looks like he's good. We'll go down the sweep towards turn 5. Just over a 90-degree left-hander. Hard on the brakes down the hill. Through there, up the hill, under the bridge. To turn 6, another 90-degree left-hander. Quick through sector 1, Pavlicek. Little kink right. And then down the hill they come to another 90-degree left as they go through the carousel. Through this part of the track where they'll be making some time up here. So Pavlicek through this sweeping right-hander that just goes on and on and on. That's where those right-hand tyres really do keep a battering. Down through the kink. So if you can keep your speed through there and not drift out too wide, that's a really good shout. This part of the track called Kettle Bottoms, down towards Canada Corner. Canada Corner, another tight right-hand 90-degree turn. Those tyres really starting to scream by now. Don't drift too wide like there, like Pavlicek's done. You'll delete your lap, which is a shame because he was on an absolute blinder there. And my guess is this is going to be a time deletion. So watch him out for the race. Looks like Rennett's got a bit of pace in that car as he dobs into the pits. 3.5 tenths up through sector 2. On his own best time, so a lot of time to come from Pavlicek, especially in the race, although he won't be able to throw it around like that unless he's going for a tyre stop as well. Thanks, Martine. Yeah, 5th place for Martine Kennan so far. That's a lovely little lap from him. There's a few invalid laps here as they struggle with track limits. Fillingham's about to start another lap as he comes over the line. Currently sits in 3rd on a 2:15.6. 4 tenths off Pavlicek. Pavlicek and Britton in the pits. If they want to do one more lap, they'll need to come out quick. In fact, they won't get another lap in now if they're in the pits, so they're done and dusted. Fillingham and Max Haas still out on track. What can Fillingham do? Just come through the sector 1. Where is he? 39.3, so a 1/10.5 off Pavlicek through sector 1, but we saw a bit of a wiggle there for Simon as he just went out of turn 5 under the bridge through turn 6. I'm going to take that little right-hander there and then down towards the carousel. Really aiming at Clive Britton's time here. Clive Britton through sector 2 was 1:35.5 on his best lap, so keep an eye out for that on Fillingham. In fact, Max Haas is 1:35.4 through sector 2 on his best lap, so there's plenty of time for Max to come here. 35.9 for Simon, so it doesn't look like he's going to improve on this lap. Let's go and find Max. Where's Max? So 39.2, almost on the pace of Pavlicek. So this is nice from Max. It's on board. Through 5. Sorry, not 5, that's lost the track there. He's up to the carousel now, isn't he? My bad. You can see how he's just feathering the throttle as he goes through, and you can see it just goes on and on and on this corner. Yeah, just when you think you're getting a break. Another right-hander, quick. Keep as much speed as you can going through there. He's looking at 135.4, which is what he's on, 135.4. This could improve for Max if he can just keep this final sector together. Down towards Canada. Oh no! I think that's the corner he's obviously struggling with. I think his lap's still valid, but we'll keep an eye on that. But your pole sitter, unless Max can do anything about it, is Radek Pavlicek, sharing the front row with Clive Britton there in second. Finningham and Haas. Although I don't think Max is going to improve that turn. Mistake at Canada just costing him. Just keep an eye on it as he goes over the line. No, he doesn't improve. So Finningham and Haas will be on row 2. Kennens with that excellent qualifying there, and Bergsma. They'll be on row 3. Dorr and Cassell on 4. Wood and Britton on row 5. Carlos Guerra and Greg Metcalf on row 6. Magyar and Lecken on 7. Wicklander and Reynolds are back in 15th and 16th. And I think it was Wengel right at the back. So there we go. The guys will just be sorting their fuel out now, getting their setup straight for the race. It will be a different setup to what they've had in qualifying. Unfortunately, I can't do much about the current view. As we look at, I think that's Martin Kennens' car. After that, a 5th place in qualifying. Martin using a proper gearbox. Some of the guys who paddle shifts and whatever, but Martin actually using the clutch and the gearbox, so fair play to him. Here's the grid, just lining up now. And that privateer BMW at the back with the yellow strip, you can just see him there under the race room logo. That's Carlos Guerra. Here we go. Pavlicek will lead him away. Finningham Haas. What's happened to Clive Britton? Clive Britton, who was in 2nd place, is in the pits. There's his car in the pits. Oh, let's hope Clive hasn't disconnected. That would be a real bitch. But here we go, down towards turn 1. And Finningham. Great start from Simon Finningham. Takes the lead. From Pavlicek, Haas, Bergsma, Britton, Cassell, Guerra, Wood, Metcalf, Lecker. Martin Kennens down in 11th. Bad start for Martin. But up front, Simon Finningham beaten away from the grid from Radek. This is Pavlicek we're on board with. That's Finningham up front, getting a really good start and pulling away here. Oh, wide into turn 4, just gets a bump on the entrance to that turning, wide there. Remember, they're okay now during the race. If they cut too much track, they will get a slowdown penalty, but I don't think so far there's any speed loss there. So Finningham and Pavlicek really opening up a gap now to Bergsma, Britton, Guerra, Cassell, Wood, Metcalf, Kennens. Kennens making up place there to 10th. Let's go back and have a look at Martin Kennens. That's where the action's happening back there. That's Kennens inside of David Dorr. And just sneaking up the inside there, that's Dusan Magyar. Nice move there to go through carousel. As they come through there too wide, they're still side by side. Through a little kink here. Kennens just takes that. Whoa, wide from Kennens. Brings it back in up dirty tyres as he comes through here towards Canada. Hopefully he'll be clean by the time he gets there. Just manages to keep it together. They'll drift too wide there, and it's still side by side. Kennens and Magyar. Finally Kennens gets ahead. He's back to 11th, as I said, but back up front, there's your man Simon Finnegan. He's got Pavlicek right behind him now. Those two have opened up a 3-second gap on Jim Britton, crew chief himself, in third. Bergsma tight behind him in fourth. Let's go and have a look at those two. You can see a bit of a train. Britton, Bergsma, Carlos Guerra behind them. Cassell, Wood, Metcalf and Lecken. So they go, Britton outside with Bergsma. These two old rivals. Bergsma slips in beside him though. As Britton goes up to third. Nice driving from the crew chief himself. But Fillingham with Pavlicek right behind him. Pavlicek takes out, jumps out as a look. Prime overtaking place here. Excuse me. If he can keep the car there, Pavlicek will have the inside line for turn 6. Fillingham though, not going to leave him any room. Oh, they come together. Fillingham really didn't give him any room at all there, and Pavlicek keeps second, but he will have some blood flowing through his veins now as he chases down Fillingham. Did have the inside line, but Simon just took the aggressive line through the corner. Leave that one to the stewards to work that one out. But it's Fillingham from Pavlicek, Britton, Bergsma, Guerra in 5th, Cassell, Wood, Metcalf 8th, Dawn 9th, Lecken 10th, Kennens down 11th, Magyar 12th, Wicklander up to 13th, good driving from Nicholas, Max Haas down in 14th, really struggling it seems, must have some issues at the start, Ben Reynolds in 15th, Clive Britton, has he actually started the race? Where is Clive? He did, he must have just not been able to hit drive in time. And our second place man on the grid, well, he's had better luck than... Oh, excuse me, got an itch. Better luck than Charles Leclerc today. At least he managed to get his car racing. But down in 16th place. Well, Clive's got some work to do here. Still a long way to go. That can be made up. But yeah, he's got his work cut out. Peter Wengel behind him. Peter did say he was struggling with these cars, but fair play. Took part in the championship. Good to see him. Got 19 registered drivers. If you are looking forward to the series but want to get involved, we still do have some places because of those absentees I spoke about earlier. Pop along to rrlegs.com. There'll be a link there for Series 51, the Crew Chief Championship, and details there of how you can get involved. If you are a sim racer and you're liking looking at this, full commentary throughout the series from myself, so pop over, get involved, and you can be on the next grid at Brands Hatch. Look at that, Pavlicek right behind Fillingham again. They're going for it at the same place again. Fillingham wide, Pavlicek up the inside. Fillingham again aggressive through there. Pavlicek knows if he's going to try it there, he's not going to have much joy with his front wing, so he's been given a warning from Fillingham. Try it somewhere else, Radek. Meanwhile, while these two scrap, look who's that in the background. Jim Britton, just a second off now, really pulling this back as his tyres come in. Leading BMW, these two Mercedes out in front. Jim Britton, the leading BMW in the distinctive tic-tac colours. But Fillingham leads from Pavlicek, Britton, Bergsma, Guerra, Cassell, Wood, Metcalf, Dorr, Kennens up to 10th now, past Lecken. Haas, Wicklander, Magyar, Reynolds, Britton and Peter Wengel right out the back. So you see he needs to try a different line. He's trying this one towards Canada. Again, Fillingham there first, just takes the racing line, and there's no way through for Pavlicek. This is the view from, oh, that's not the view from Jim Britton's car, that's the view from Jim Britton's car. So I'm just losing a bit of drive as he came up the hill as he got two left-hand side tyres on the grass. That's given Pavlicek the chance as they go into turn 1. Side by side, the two 190Es. It does look like Fillingham had pushed a pass on there as you've got a little bit more speed at the end of the straight. These cars are fixed, set up for this championship, remember, so they are driving hard on the brakes there from Britain. They are driving the same settings, although also different cars, so the BMWs will handle differently than the Mercedes, but the setups are the same for each model. That's why these racing is so close. Fuel obviously is a free choice, as are tyre pressures. I believe tyre pressures are free. I'll have to ask that the next time round. I think they are. So Fillingham still leads from Pavlicek. This is Jim Britton. Keeping to Mercedes honest. All of them munching the curve there as they go through down towards Harry Downs. Left-hander here. Jim just looking to see if he can get a look through there. And now they go on this long right-hander. Who's got the best feather? Who's got the best drift? And that's where the tyres are really going to come into play later in the race. They go through turns like that. All those long right-handers and sharp right-hand 90 degrees. Down they go. These three clear. 4 seconds back to Bergsma. Come around the final turn. He'll keep it on the tarmac or on the concrete. That'll vibrate through the wheels, but they should get good drive out of there, although it looks like again Pavlicek in a slipstream, just pulling out from Fillingham. Again gets side by side, but as he hits that wall of air, is he just going to find a little bit less pace? Oh, and again Fillingham does leave him room this time, but that's not the place where Pavlicek wanted to stick his nose, having had it bitten off earlier in the race. Fillingham, Pavlicek, Britton, just saw Bergsma there in the background, just trying to hang on to the back of these while they're fighting. Close for Bergsma, Guerra, Cassell, Wood. So we'll drop back to those four in a minute. We'll just have a look at Pavlicek as he comes down here. I think down at turn 5. Jim Britton going to have a look up at turn 6, up the top of the hill they go under the bridge. She's looking back from Fillingham's car. There's Pavlicek and that menacing looking Mercedes. Slightly cuter BMW Jim Britton just behind him. And here they go around the carousel. Like the Wurlitzer, just hang on for dear life. Fillingham getting a good run through there. Britton getting interested on Pavlicek. There goes Jim, up towards turn 12, down the corner. Is he going to dop out here? He does. Pavlicek defends. That's going to hinder his exit. Does that allows Jim Britton to have a run at him through here. Has he got it done? He has. What a bit of driving from crew chief Jim Britton. Takes second place from Pavlicek. Wow, set him up beautifully there. 3-4 corners that took, but it was great driving from Jim Britton. Literally wrapped Pavlicek up like a Christmas present and took it off him as they come through the final corners. But look at this, Pavlicek down the straight, that BMW really struggling against the MERC. They go side by side through 1. Pavlicek just get a bit squirrely on the exit of 1, and they come down towards 2. This time Britton cuts across in front of him fairly. Pavlicek gets a better exit out of there, and they'll go down the straight towards turn 5. We've seen Pavlicek have a go there before on Fillingham. Is he going to do the same to Jim? He is. Pulls out. What's going to be the result of this one? Hold your hands. Jim, a bit more respectful than Simon was. Let's see through here if he is. And Pavlicek just pushes Britton onto the grass there, but takes the bite of the curb there, but gets ahead. They'll come down through the left-hander here, and then on to the carousel they go again. Fillingham really pulling out a couple of seconds here. As Pavlicek and Britton scrap over second. Although it does look like Britton might have got the better of Pavlicek here. Radek's just got to stick in that slipstream to see if he can pick up a bit of a toe. Although the drift there from Britton was pretty sublime. Behind these, Bergsma, Guerra, Cassell and Wood all close together, but forgive me if I stick with the action here. There goes Fillingham, Britton, Pavlicek. Well, fair play to Jim Britton. Has he broken Pavlicek here? Has Radek just taken something out of his tyres there through those really aggressive first few laps? Up the hill they go. Let's just see if he's got the slipstream. He has. He just needs to time that slipstream a bit further down the straight though. That Mercedes very powerful. Jim looks for a wider line through one to try and hold two, and he has done. And we'll go down the sweep then towards turn 5. I say turn, but you might wonder where it goes from 3 to 5. This bit under the bridge, that's a turn apparently. But anyway, down towards 5 they go, and Pavlicek can't get on terms here with Britton. So the little BMW, we can just hold it together through this little complex up towards the carousel. Pavlicek's going to have to work that out, maybe think to do that in the pits. Let's go back and look at some other racing going on further down the field. And that's Guerra there, that's Bergsma in front with the green flash on the screen. That's Guerra with the yellow flash on the top of his screen. He's got Cassell behind him. So that's 4th, 5th and 6th in shot there. Further back, we've got Wood, Metcalf, in fact look at this lot, Wood, Metcalf, Haas, Kennens and Lecken. All 5 of them there. Oh, a good old battle. Points all the way down through the field. Oh, look at that, oh, look at that, wow. Good to see you in chat, man. Thanks for joining the streams. So good through. There's the tic-tac car there of Max Haas. Jim Britton's teammate with team crew chief, trying to fight his way up through the field after what must have been a terrible start for Max. So Wood, Haas, Metcalf just behind him. Kennens right up the tail of Greg Metcalf, sorry. Talking so much, can't get me breath in, that's why I'm yawning for the oxygen. So yeah, Wood from Haas, Metcalf, Kennens and Lecken. Those 5 in a bit of a train. And you can see in the background there, Clive Britton desperately trying to make up some time from his pit lane start. Down in 12th, he can make this time up. But he's going to be on an absolute blind at all race, I think, and then he'll get towards the top 6. But he'll certainly look to be able to get towards Wood, I think. That'll be his target currently. This is Lecken. Kennens on his right. Metcalf from the BMW there on the inside. Kenners goes really far too deep there. Easy positions for Lecken. You can see in the mirror there Kenners struggling to get it off of the outfield there as he struggles to brake and get it down. Martin using one of the guys using his clutch and gear tonight, so as he should do. Not everyone's got that sort of equipment and they'll use paddle shifts, which is a lot more efficient. But back in '92 these cars did not have paddle shifts. They had a stick, a clutch and a lot of chest hair. So Martin is showing that off today as best he can as he'll try and get on the back of Lecken. You can just hear rather, as Lecken struggles to get through carousel. The trouble is if you bunch to that inside curve, you think it's quicker, but it will throw you out onto that outer curve, and that's how you'll lose a bit of time. Pavlicek still trying to keep Jim Britton honest. Flingers away though, 4 seconds up the road. You can just see him going up the hill. One Britton and Pavlicek. Bergsma behind these, about 2 seconds behind. He's got a 2 second gap on Guerra. And Guerra's got Cassell just behind him. And then it's the battle for Wood, Haas, Metcalf, Lecken, and so Kennings just dropped off after that mistake. And Clive Britton now just a second behind Kennings after that, so another target for Clive Britton. And keep him in mind for driver of the day today. Nigel Wood, Max Haas just behind him. This is the front view of Nigel Wood's car. Nice clear tarmac, but look at this. That's the view from the rear. Max Haas bearing down on him with 2 on 3s. Max just looking up the inside there, but good line there from Nigel. Slightly quicker, even if Max's looks slightly more aggressive. Just up front, Britton and Pavlicek, as they go through carousel, these two still at it. They literally are trading paint. Pavlicek just runs wide through there. That's going to give. Let's just see if that's me. Please be me. I think it might be, you know. Just had a... Let's see if we can get here and here again. Here we go. Let's hope we can get back in here. Please talk amongst yourselves as we try and get back with the race. We have. It was my settings, my server, my £70 a month internet dropping out. Lovely. Thanks, BT. What have we missed? Filling them out in front. Jim Britton and Pavlicek. Well, we may have lost the race for 30 seconds or so, but nothing's changed. Look at these two. Britton with the insides are going to turn 5. Pavlicek keep it through 6 so he gets the kink of 7. He's trying his hardest. Jim just getting screwed there on the exit. Don't start again. Thank you. And look at that in the background, Andre Bergsma. I said, watch out the guys with the tyre management skills. That is Andre Bergsma to a T. Well, it looks like these two have lost a little bit of time while we were away. We're filling them 6 seconds up the road. So Bergsma has caught them, but I think that may be because these two have been battling so hard. after brief advert break. Fillingham, Britain, Pavlicek, Bergsma. That's these three here. Guerra, Cassell, Haas has got ahead of Wood now. Metcalf in 9th, Britain up to 10th, past Kennings and Lecken. So, as I say, driver of the day coming, award coming right now. Who's that in the background? Is that Guerra? I think it might have been, you know. Carlos Guerra. Yeah, look at that. He's struggled out of there, and that's put him right with Cassell and Haas. So Guerra just struggling with the brakes there as he went through Canada, I think it was. And up straight they go. Fortunately managed to get a good drive out the last turn. That's just given him a little bit of a break over Cassell and Haas. You can see that BMW of Haas just not been able to come out from behind the BMW, from behind the Mercedes. That MERC really does have some pace down the straight, but the nimbleness of the BMW through the twisty bits is what's keeping us together. In fact, while I've been watching that, oh no, sorry, Pavlicek's got ahead of Jim Britton. This is only the spotter. It's all going on everywhere. Look at that, Britton, whoa, deep into there trying to get the outside, but that's just opened up the inside for Bergsma. Jim Britton does not want Andre Bergsma getting past him. Has kept him behind, but Andre still there. So Pavlicek, Britton and Bergsma. Has Pavlicek got the pace to get back to Fillingham? And Jim Britton trade some more paint with Pavlicek and get back into second place. We won't do it like that. Straights here, I think, really suiting those Mercedes. BMWs can keep it together through the twisty back part or the middle part of the circuit, but there's so many areas where that Mercedes can stretch its legs. Fillingham extends the lead, 7 seconds now. Back to this battle between Pavlicek and Britton. Bergsma just again regrouping. It's all going to come down to who got the best pit stop strategy. Remember, the Mercedes doesn't need as much fuel as the BMW when it comes in, so they both probably would have filled up to the brim at the start. I'm guessing the BMW will need to come in somewhere in the next 10 minutes or so. At least before 26 minutes is up, I think, just with how their fuel tank works. And MERC's got a little bit more leeway on that, so they can go a bit longer if needed. Sorry, that's the view from Pavlicek. Let's go. Oh, why did you stop doing that? There's a view from Jim Britton's car. See Bergsma in his wing mirror, his rear view mirror there. He's closer than it looks in there, only a second behind. You can see now these two aren't banging doors. For what they've got, gap down to Fillingham now, 6.5 seconds. So Jim trying to keep Pavlicek behind. I just wonder if it'll be a little bit wiser to stick on his rear bumper and keep him in front, pick up a mistake if he drops one, but work together to bring that back, that gap to Fillingham back down again. Oh, deep there from Jim. Pavlicek, a little bit of breathing space. through there is Jim. He needs to stay on the rear wing of that MERC as best he can, up the straight. No short shifting going on from Jim, full beans. You can see they've just dropped Bergsma there by a couple and a half seconds. As these two pick up the pace, 6 seconds now to Fillingham. I know it's a lot to think about when you're driving these because there's 100 other things to do, but if I'm Jim Britton, I think I'd stick with Radek as best I can. Stay in that slipstream. Try and preserve some fuel and some tyres. And hope that will get you to the end of the race ahead of that 190 that's a lot heavier than the BMW, so lightly heavy on its tyres. But not if you start drifting like that, Jim. Tipped that car, started the Alpha Tauri white rim thing. Don't think that's an Alpha Tauri thing, but there you go. It's 30 years ago, boys. All white multi-spoke alloys. Bergs are really pushing the background there. Just saw him just drift onto the grass. He's really looking for grip there. So down they come through the kettle bottoms. And to Canada. 5.5 seconds to Fillingham. This is not Simon struggling, this is the pace of these two. Last lap for, where are we? Invalid, unfortunately. Fastest lap of the race so far is in fact Jim Britton, the only guy with 2:15, 2:15.9. Best lap for Pavlicek with 2:16.4, so maybe I'm doing Jim a disservice here. If he can get in front of Pavlicek and not have that fight. We saw him, he thought he broke Pavlicek at one stage, but that's a miracle lap, 2:15.9. Far and away the best lap of the day so far. First driver of the day, Clive Britton. There he is, up to 9th. About to come across a gaggle of Haas, Guerra, Cassell and Wood. So I said he'd have Nigel Wood in his sights. Well, there he is. Britton on the pace of leaders, 2:16.2. You see Pavlicek on a 2:16 flat. Britton on 2:16 flat last lap as well. Fillingham 2:17 flat. So second on them there. The gap down to now under 5 seconds between Pavlicek and Fillingham. Looks like Kennins is out of the race, and no, I missed that one. There's Martine. Is that a fuel? Reynolds is in the pits. I presume that's for a pit stop. It is 28 minutes through. I just wonder if Martine Kennins has run out of fuel there. That's a funny place to stop. I'm guessing he would have had that fuel issue before the start of the straight, so he would have pulled into the pits. But Kennins looks like he's out of the race. Reynolds, Wicklander in the pits. Back up front, Fillingham, Pavlicek and Britton. BMW is likely to stop this lap. Just seen Martine in the chat. Game crashed. Martine, I'm so sorry, man. I know you put a lot into it and you had some good pace today. Apart from that poor stop. Oh, look at that. Britton in the pits. So I'll keep an eye on Pavlicek, see where Britton comes out. Britton in the pits. So Fillingham, Pavlicek, Britton in. Bergsma goes through. Does Bergsma go through? No, Bergsma's in the pits as well. Where's Cassell? Cassell goes through. in the Mercedes. So this must be BMW stop time. Although Clive Britton has gone through, so Clive up to 4th. Here we go. Yeah, Martin, your car's still there on the side of the track, man. That's why I thought you'd run out of fuel, but yeah, game crash is never good. I say the my internet, I think it's the internet, the game, or the server crashed for me earlier. But obviously, as a driver, once that crashes, you don't get to rejoin the server. You're out. Bit like a gearbox or a drive shaft. If it's gone, it's gone. So here we go. Finnegan leads from Pavlicek. Where is Jim Britton? He's still in the pits. Come on, Jim. That's a long stop. That is a very long stop, let me tell you. Bergsman's out and away. I'm guessing Jim stopped for tyres. But that's a really, really long stop for Jim Britton. That's literally put him out of the race. I'm guessing Bergsman didn't take tyres, so if Jim did take the tyres, then fair play, he'll have a bit of pace towards the end of the race compared to these guys, but that's a lot of time to make up in 26 minutes. So Finnegan leads from Pavlicek, Cassell, Clive Britton up to 4th, a sole BMW not to pit, Metcalf, Magyar, Bergsman there in 7th, from Haas in 8th, Guerra in 9th, Lecken in 10th, David Dorr in 11th. I haven't spoken much about David Dorr today, he's down in 11th. I say Jim Britton down in 12th after that really long pit stop. Wood in 13th, Reynolds 14th, Wicklander 15th, and Peter Wengel down there in 16th, still running. Unfortunately, Kennan's down there, unfortunately, going crash, leaves him out of the race. Just saying, Martin in chat, so confused, only 2 cars in front of him at the start. You better get used to it, Martin. If you're going to start improving, man, that's going to happen. So Finnegan continues on his way. Pavlicek and Cassell. These guys won't need as much fuel as those BMWs, remember. Britton in the pits, Cassell in the pits. So there's those two. Just Finnegan and Pavlicek to stop by the looks of it. There's Magyar got to stop as well. Magyar may have to stop as well. In fact, there you go, Magyar in the pits. So just the leaders to come in and keep an eye on those two. Pavlicek's got it down to 4 seconds now, so we'll see what the gap is when they drop out the pits. It's Clive had an issue. Oh, there you go. Clive out of the pits, comes out in 6th. Wow. Tell you what, if he can manage to get onto the, let's say get onto the podium as a 54-second gap to consider. Mind you, no, first 2 are away. Obviously, they've still got to come in and change. Clive Britton finds himself, what, 5 seconds behind 3rd place from starting 25 seconds behind everybody. If you haven't liked the video already, just like it for Clive Britton's drive so far today. Keep an eye on him. Still 23 minutes to go, up to 6th. Finnegan carries on. Comes round the final corner. Pavlicek just in the background, just see him there. Finnegan coming in this lap. He is. The gap is 4.5 seconds as they come into the pits. Or 4.1, let's say 4.1. Speed limiter on. Pavlicek in behind him. Cassell goes through for another. Oh no, it doesn't. I saw a MERC go through behind them. That must be one of the back markers. So Cassell will be the next one to come in and stop. Bergsman and Haas behind him. Pavlicek right down the end of the pit lane. You can see how long it is. There's Finnegan. Pavlicek right down here. Cassell in 3rd place. There's racing for positions here from Bergsman and Haas, but I'm guessing Cassell will be in this lap at the limit of his fuel. I doubt at this stage he'll be changing tyres. No, Cassell carries on. Wow. So Fillingham out from Pavlicek, 4 seconds behind. So literally both at the same stop there, Fillingham and Pavlicek. And those two are, what, 13? Well, Fillingham's 4 seconds ahead of Pavlicek. He's 13 seconds ahead of Bergsma and Haas. Cassell yet to stop. Britton up to 6, Guerra, Metcalf, Lecken, Dorr. Jim Britton down 11th after that disaster. Nigel in 12th, Magyar 13th, Ben Reynolds 14th, Wickland at Wengel, and they said Kellen's out. Look at these guys. Haas climbing all over the back of Andre Bergsma, who's got that Mercedes in front of him. He just needs to get out of the way. Cassell though doesn't need to do that. He is driving for position. That's the view back from the 190 of Gerasimos. It's Bergsma behind him with the green flash on the screen. And then Haas behind him in the crew chief tic-tac car. Through the carousel they go, 2 different lines from Bergsma and Haas. Bergsma just managed to pull that back nicely there. Still some grip in those tyres, I don't need to do that every time. Just runs it a little bit wide there, Bergsma. Hopefully they'll clean up those tyres before he gets to the end, but that's just cost him some time. Haas senses that, looks for the outside to go through Canada. And he does it. Great move from Max Haas there, around the outside. Takes him into 4th position, pushes Bergsma back to 5th. Cassell will no doubt come in this lap. No. Blimey, he's run on ethanol that Mercedes, I think. So Fillingham from Pavlicek. Cassell 3rd, yet to stop. Haas, Bergsma. Clive Britton in 6th, Guerra 7th. Metcalf 8th, Dorr, and Jim Britton out to 10th. Just keep that gap between Fillingham and Pavlicek up front. It's pretty static at about 4 seconds. You're right, Martin, this is a great drive from Max Haas here. Really good drive. There's another one that was well down the field at the start. But now slightly pulling away from Bergsma. Now Haas has got the 190 of Gerasimos in front of him. And you can just see in the background there, Clive Britton. Just, there he is, really chucking that car around, wow. Man from Ireland really throwing his BMW into all parts of this track. Those tyres will be shot by the end, let me tell you. I thought Bergson was giving it large. Clive Britton really throwing that car around. So Cassell still 3rd. Haas, Bergsma, Britton. Gap back then to Guerra, Metcalf, Dorn and Jim Britton. This is when we get to the race and realise that actually Gerasimos has actually stopped, aren't we? One with Andre Bergsma through the final corner. I thought I'd change camera angles to see if it prompted Gerasimos to come into the pits. He must have stopped. Can't keep going, surely. I don't know, call yourself a professional, Martin, you should know this shit. So Cassell third, Haas fourth, Bergsma fifth, Clive Britton sixth in the background. Although not quite out of focus now, he was a little bit earlier. Good drive this from Gerasimos Cassell in the 198. Teammate of Dusan Magyar. Magyar only 13th for Beer Brothers. Up we go, under the bridge. So look, pace last lap. Pavlicek on a 16 flat still, Finningham a 16.2, Haas a 16.4, Clive Britton a 16.2. So those guys, oh, that 15.9. Jim Britton really pushing the boat out here, trying to get back on terms. Down comes Cassell. Here Carousel. Sorry, usually Carousel. Too busy looking at times. Has looked to slip one up the inside here. No. Gives him a little bit of a push though. As if Gerasimos needed any incentive to get out of the way. Is he going to catch? He does. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, that's made the hip muscles work. There'll be a few abs there that were clenched, let me tell you. Cassell holds it together, keeps their position from Haas and Bergsma. All the time this is going on, Clive Britton getting closer and closer. Again, fastest man on track last time round, Clive Britton. I've not seen Jim Britton's time. In fact, it was an invalid lap from Jim Britton last time round. So, and finally, Haas makes a move. Pushes Cassell a little bit wide and they go down the straight. Is that MERC going to have enough pace to keep the inside line? Turn 5, I think it has. Yeah, look at the pace of that. Wow. And it's all getting a bit leery behind them. Wow. I'll tell you what, Max, do you want some more track? And this time Haas looks again to get through their bump doors. But I think it still worked. It has. Haas is through. Muscled his way past Gerasimos Cassell. And I think that's what it needed. Berg's going to look up the inside of Cassell as well, as he falls back into the clutches of the BMWs. And Clive Britton through on Bergsma. That's Britton up to 5th. What a drive. So Haas up to 3rd. Cassell 4th. Clive Britton 5th. Bergsma shuffled that down to 6th. And now Britton having a look at Gerasimos. Pavlicek's got the gap to Finningham down to 3 seconds now. Haas is away from Cassell. Britton and Bergsma are going to need to dispatch him fairly quickly if they want to keep up with Haas. Britton now right in the slipstream. Don't do that. You can just see BMW foot to the floor, right on his back wing. Pulls out, hits the wall of air, brakes late. Britton's got the inside line. Can he keep it together? He can. So he's through as well. Just Bergsma as well to get past Cassell. Although Gerasimos keeping Clive Britton honest there through turn 2. Or turn 3. That 2 in the middle there. Ridiculous corner number in here at Road America. So Bergman looking down the inside as they go into 5. Classic overtaking place. Cassell pushes the car out wide, giving him a better turning. Gets it. Up the hill, under the Corvette bridge they go. Sharp left. Fillingham, Pavlicek, and this battle for Haas, Britton, Cassell and Bergsma. Gap of 10 seconds back to Guerra, Metcalf, David Dorr, Jim Britton trying desperately to get back on terms. Leckins 11th, Nigel Woods 12th, Dusan Magyar 13th, Reynolds 14th, Wicklander 15th, Peter Wingle out there in 16th, bringing up the rear, although he is closing on Wicklander. Oh, still on lead lap, just about. Wingle will be coming under pressure shortly from the leaders. In fact, where is Fillingham? There. Has he passed Wingle? I think he is. Yeah, both Fillingham and Pavlicek passed Peter Wingle. So, first lap car after 49 minutes. Good going. Good driving for everyone today. Take nothing away from Simon Fillingham. I'm giving Clive all the plaudits for driver of the day, but you can't do much more than Simon Fillingham's done today. Good start off the grid, and has kept Pavlicek pretty much at bay for the whole race, despite a little couple of comings together on lap 2 and 3. Radek hasn't forgotten about that. Gap down to 2.3 between those two, but time is running out for Radek. 10 minutes to go. As Clive Britton gets nice and friendly with Haas. Great overtake from from Clive there. Two of Britons. Max will look to push up the inside. Oh, and they come together. Max desperately trying to steal the position straight back. I think he had to do that because if he didn't, he knows Clive will be away. And look at that. I was going to say at the start of the race, you wouldn't think Clive Britton will get into a podium position, but wow. Just drifts it a bit wide there though. That's going to give Max the outside line as they go through Carousel. Is he going to get the switch back on him? Clive's lucky. Oh! This is going to get interesting now. Max is through. Tyres just starting to scream enough now. And that comes down to how well they can ride them on their rims. Punches are a real possibility here. The tyres literally run out of any sort of life through the afterlife and into hell. Pavlicek 2.2 now behind Finnegan. Both of the 6 seconds faster, 6 seconds, bloody hell, 6/10 faster last time round, Pavlicek. The only two drivers in the 16s last time round, Jim Britton and Clive Britton. Obviously that lap was invalid after Britton mowed the lawn, going through the kink. So Clive Britton again looking to renew rivalries with Haas as they come through turn 4. Turn 3, do you know what? The second corner, the second right-hander. Down the straight they go. Under the cheese bridge. Clive looking for the inside line. Max trying to protect it, realised he'd lost it, pushes it out wide to give him better drive through here. Clive deep. Yeah, and that's going to struggle to get off there, Clive. I think those tyres have just about screamed enough. That's Bergsma past him. Those two bang doors. I think Bergsma's going to have better drive through there. He is. So 0 to 0, Clive Britton here, as he's used all his tyres up, I think, to get back into a position where he could put himself in a podium position. But, you know, there's 60 minutes of rubber there. He might have used them up after 55. The others still got some left. Pavlicek 1.8 now behind Fillingham. When that gets down to a second, we'll jump to those two as they come to the final 5 minutes of the race. But look at that, Max Haas. What's he done there? Look at that, he's pulled out. He's away. Bergsma, Britain, side by side into Canada. Clive's still got a little bit of grip because he managed to get it through there. Bergsma desperately trying to look for the gap between him and the curb, can't find it. And now he's got to defend against Gerasimos Cassel, who honestly, fair play Gerasimos, I honestly wrote you off at the middle of the race there. I really thought you had to pit again, or you had to pit rather. So accept my apologies. So there's Max Haas just going through. It's Clive Britton, Cassel and Bergsma fighting out for 5th. It's so low when it does that. Still amateurish in there. So here's Cassel. View to Bergsma. I'll keep an eye on the Britton battle with Haas. That's 2.5 seconds. Pavlicek 1.5 behind Fillingham. Jim Britton up to 8th. Good spirited drive back from Jim. Again, I was going to say him and Clive Dennywan's in the 2.16. Max Britton in the 2.16 last time round as well. Half a second quicker than Fillingham. So desperately trying to reel that time in, but when they're 2-minute laps, there's only 5 minutes to go. Half a second just isn't going to be enough. Coming down to the last 5 minutes, tyres are literally screaming, sorry, I have had enough. Who's looked after them the best? Let's see. See Jim Britton winning this as the first 7 cars all have punctures. I can just see Jim saying, I told you so. 4 minutes to go. Fillingham just put a little bit of a gap out again on Pavlicek. Is he just playing with him? And there's Haas away from Clive Britton. Clive almost 2 seconds to make up. Further back in the field, Lecken and Wood going at it still. In fact, Wood's got past Lecken there by the looks of it. He has. So you can see he managed to get that stopped and turn well. So Roger Wood still with a bit of tread in his tyres. Lecken in that Unitron computer car. Starting to struggle with it, you can see there. Well, we haven't really looked at it in much race in the second half of the race anyway. Simon Fillingham being chased down by Radek Pavlicek. 3 minutes to go for Fillingham to get to the checkered flag. Just see that 190 just starting to wiggle as he applied the power. Needs to keep it off the grass, keep it on the tarmac, Keep the wear down to a minimum. Mind you, what he can do, Pavlicek can do better by the looks of it. The gap 1.3. Gap between Haas and Britton almost a second now. Now away from Bergsma, who's away from Cassell. He's managed to break that one now. Guerra, Jim Britton, Metcalf and David Doran make your top 10. With Nigel Wood desperately chasing down doors to get into the top 10. But Fillingham starts the final lap. Just under a second between him and Pavlicek. I don't think Radek's going to have enough. But we'll see. Great drive from Simon Fillingham. Radek throwing the car around everywhere he can to pull that back. 16.5 last time round with no tyres from Radek Pavlicek. That is probably lap of the day. Desperately trying to pull back Simon Fillingham, but he's just left it a little bit too late. Down the sweep they go, turn 5 next. Sharp left-hander. Oh, Fillingham getting it beached on the curb there for a second. That's going to affect his turn in. Pavlicek smelling the fumes now. Through 6 they go, right-handed kink at 7. Down towards 8. Sharp 90-degree left-hander. Up through the Speedville Bridge and then round Carousel. Last time tyres, I promise you won't have to do this again. Pavlicek's got it down to 6/10. No mistakes from Fillingham now, and he's got this, I'm pretty sure. Although Radek literally giving everything he can with that MERC. Is Fillingham going to feel the pressure? Down they come to Canada corner. Sharp right-hander. What's left in those tyres? Not much. Good corner from Pavlicek there. Got a couple of tenths on Fillingham, but Fillingham's got the position and track position. One more corner to go. Get this one right, and Cy Fillingham is going to be the winner of the first crew chief event, although Pavlicek's going to chase him up the hill. And the drag up the hill, but he's just not got enough. Cy Fillingham takes the win. First round of Crew Chief Championship to Cy and the Mercedes. Second, Radek Pavlicek, Kestin Honest all the way through those two. What a great race between those two. Let's jump back to Bergs. In fact, what's happened to Clive Britton? What's happened to Max Haas? Have those two are coming together? Jim Britton in 5th. What's happened? Oh my God. I don't know. I'm guessing Max and Clive had it coming together. 2 crew chief cars. Bergsman's come over the line. He has gone over the line in 3rd. Grasimos Cassell in 4th. Good drive by Grasimos. And Jim Britton means teammate Max Haas. Contract terms kept between those two. Guerra comes home 7th. Clive Britton back in 8th. Well, that was an interesting drive, Clive. I've got to say, I think you saw everything in that race. Greg Metcalf crosses the line in 9th. Nigel Wood rounds out your top 10. Got that position from David Dorr and must have struggled with tyres there at the end. Lecken in 12th, Magyar 13th, Ben Reynolds in 14th, Wicklander 15th, and Peter Wengel back in 16th. The only non-finish at Martin Kennan's, and that's because the game had a crash. Wow. Not sure what else to say there. That was fantastic. Simon Fillingham, 100 points for the win. Radek Pavlicek in 2nd. Fastest lap of the day went to, let's have a look, 2:15.9 was Jim Britton, the only guy in the 2:15s today. He had an interesting race. Need to find out what happened with the old pit stop there, because that seemed to take forever. So Fillingham wins round 1 of the Crew Chief Championship from Road America, from Radek Pavlicek in second. Andre Bergsma gets third place on the podium. Nice drive from Andre. Kept it clean, kept it sweet, while those around him didn't. Grasimos Cassell, again, like I said, Grasimos, apologies to you. I honestly thought you had to stop again. I don't know what you did in your pit stop, but it was ridiculously quick because you came from nowhere. Speaking of coming from nowhere, Jim Britton was in second at one point, and pulling away from Pavlicek. Came into the pits and for some reason took an eternity in the pits, presumably for new tyres. Left him in 8th. Sorry, left him in... he came out in pits about 12th or 13th, I think. So, oh, look, we've got Cy Fillingham. Mr. Fillingham.
Mr. Hughes.
Congratulations, sir. What a race.
Fancy seeing you in here. This is not what I was expecting, but I'll take it.
Wow. What a start. I've got to say, off the line, you seem to nail it.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd best give it a few practices before the actual race start, because I know giving it full rev will just give me too much wheel spin. So I had a few practice starts, and yeah, I thought about 7,000 revs was about the sweet spot, and yeah, managed to nail it. Rad must have got some excessive wheel spin, and yeah, was able to take the lead down to the run to turn 1. So yeah, never looked back really.
Yeah,
well, it wasn't quite as easy as that, but yeah, it was the best start I could have wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed as easy as that, and the only chance was he put it alongside you through turns 5 and 6. I think about lap 2 or lap 3, and he cut his nose off there as if to say, no, it's mine. And then from then on, he was literally just in your wake. So, wow.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that lap 2 incident. He got down the inside me into, was it turn 5 at the bottom of the straight? But
that's right, yeah.
I thought I managed to get in front into turn 6, but I saw in my mirror that it spun, so I did back off and to sort of like readdress the position where I was just in front of him. But yeah, we'll have to see what becomes of that. I was a little bit concerned about that, but you know.
Yeah, looking at it from the race from my perspective, normally I can sort of say yes or no, but it looked like 50-50 to me, and that's what I said on the stream. That one's for the stewards because it really was too close to call. So yeah, I mean, whatever comes your way comes your way, but apart from that, man, fantastic drive.
Yeah, thanks. Especially when Jim had got past Rad, then he made my life so much easier, because Rad seemed to, well, Jim couldn't seem to manage to keep the pace, and Rad, I thought, was the faster driver, but he kind of got stuck behind Jim, which gave me like a 6-7 second lead. And then when Rad...
old BMW and Mercedes thing where the MERC just, I mean, especially down the straightaway at the home straight, the BMW just could sit behind the MERC and really at the very end pull out. But the MERC with the BMW could pull out literally as it went over the start-finish line. It had so much more power, it seemed. But the BMW just managed to keep it together through the twist and turny part. Yeah.
I thought that might be the case. So yeah, when Rad got past Jim, he did start to gain on me, and at that point I thought, Christ, surely he's going to be changing his tyre. We're killing him. And but then yeah, he didn't. But yeah, I was managed to regulate the pace, and then I had a really scary incident at the end with, I don't know how it came across on the stream, with a backmarker, Piotr, is it?
Yeah.
His car was flashing like crazy, and I had to really gingerly step off and hope I hadn't hit him or anything like that, which cost me about 3 or 4 seconds to Rad. Everything
that's
just
why it caught up so quickly.
Yeah, everything just went flickery and disappearing, so I was a bit concerned I might have punted him without even knowing. So yeah, I don't know how it came across on the stream, but...
To be honest, mate, you were so far out in front at the time, we weren't really watching you. We were watching all the racing going on behind because, I say, Jim Britton, he came into the pits to make his stop. I can only presume he took tyres, because when he come out he was in 12th, and he put some really good times in after that, but the only thing I can think of was he took tyres because he was in the pits for so long. The only guy in the 215s tonight as well, I think, during the race, 2:15.9, but he would have obviously took the race to you even more, but I just think he took tyres, which is obviously a mistake.
Yeah, just looking at the Discord chat now, it does say that it was a mistake. He said he made a mistake in taking tyres, so yeah, that looks like...
Did you have much left at the end?
Well,
Or is that a secret and we can't tell for the rest of the series?
No. At the beginning of the week, I thought we was going to have a 28-lap race, and then when the race started, I thought it's only going to be 27, and in the end, it was 26. So, yeah, I probably had 4 or 5% left. So, comfortable-ish, you know.
Comfortable-ish, yeah. Martin Kennons is just asking in the chat, did you know, he knows you set the server, did you give everybody 50 kilograms of ballast?
No, I did tease it in the staff room, but no, everything was fair and above board. I give you my word.
No, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. All I can say, mate, fantastic drive, and that's given you a nice lead into the rest of the season. But obviously, I'm going to have Nemanja back in the next race as well. Max looked really quick. He had a terrible start as well. Max Haas dropped right back. You had Clive Britton starting from the pits. So I don't know what that was about.
I was going to say, because Clive should have lined up in second ahead of me, but he wasn't there. So at first I thought it was Clive's internet playing up and it disconnected perhaps, but then I saw him further down the order. So yeah, he must have missed getting to the grid in time.
Yeah, his drive was exceptional. I think he had it coming together at the end with Max Haas, which might have cost the two of them a few places, but his drive from 25 seconds off the back of the field up to third place at one point was something to behold. So he's going to be challenging you for the next race as well, so you really have got your work cut out for you. But having said that, you did all you could do today. I said that in the stream, you know, although Clive's drive was good, you can only do what you can do, and you looked after your tyres, you looked after your car, and you brought it home in first place, mate. So fantastic, congratulations, and on to Brands Hatch.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Yeah, Brands Hatch, 2 sprint races, so that might be a different kettle of fish. And as we know, the reverse grid is always good value and throws up some randomness out there. So, yeah, I'll take the win tonight and move on to Brands Hatch and see what we can do there.
And as staff member for RR Leagues, you've still got some spaces in the Crew Chief Championship, I think. Anything you want to say to anyone that's watched this and wants to get involved?
Well, it's our every summer we don't fail to run this series because it's just such a thrilling racing. The old DTMs, you can really throw them about. Once you get the hang of them, they're such an easy car to drive. I think you can quite easily find the limit and stay there. So, and the banging of doors, racing, the closeness, it's you can really race it on the limit quite easily. So I encourage anyone to get signed up and get enjoying yourself in our leagues.
Yeah, we have got a few spaces left and a couple of team places left as well. So if you have seen this and you want to get involved, we've still got 5 events left and 11 races. So come and get involved. rrleagues.com is your place to go. Have a look there under the pit lane. You'll see Series 51 Crew Chief Championship, sponsored by Crew Chief himself. So yeah, come along, all the details there, and join our Discord as well. All the chat you can get from there, from the race, the after race with the drivers. Come along, get involved. Simon, I'll let you go, mate. Congratulations on your win, fantastic performance. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks at Brands Hatch.
Thanks, Martin. Appreciate your efforts as well. So yeah, call it a night. Thanks very much, mate.
Take it easy, bud.
Cheers.
So that was Simon Fillingham, winner of tonight's first round of the Crew Chief Championship from Road America. As we said there, you want to get involved, pop along over to rrleagues.com. Get involved, and you've got to be involved in that sort of stuff. That is sim racing at its best. If you can't find that excitement in that and you want to go and race somewhere else, then fair play to you, because you can't beat it. Anyway, with that, we'll leave you with the intro, because I know you all love it, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time for Road America. Don't forget, we've got 2 other series in Some of the Thunder as well with RR Leagues this season. We have the Porsche Championship in Assetto Corsa Competizione, the Porsche Cup cars. That'll be on Wednesdays weeklies, although fortnightly. Got a gap next week. Next one in 10 days' time. And next Sunday we have the F1 cars from 1990, the FRX 90s. They are a handful to drive, let me tell you. That's a good watch. Not as good as a DTM, I've got to be honest, but the FRX 90s are to behold. Some great speed, downforce, the whole kit and caboodle. So if you're an F1 fan, that's the place to be. RR Legs, you've got our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't liked the video already, please do so. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get all our live streams come to you as we go live. But in the meantime, all that's left for me to do is wish you a very good night. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate your support as always, and we'll see you in a week's time. Take care. Goodbye.
I was born to defeat.
I'm in the Lambo, I'm in demand. Pull up, shoot me shot like Rambo. Got my shirt off, and my chains on. Pull off, do 100, yeah, I'm too gone. Swerve on, doing numbers on.